Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying the Universe Crystal Growing Kit. I found this kit at my local Walmart for about 13 bucks. And this brand has a ton of different kits. It looks so fun to try. So I'm super excited to give this a try. The link to this product will be in the description box below so you can check it out for yourself. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay guys, so I went ahead and gathered everything that you're going to need that doesn't come in the kit. It says down here at the bottom, comes with everything you need, but that's not true. Lies. Anyway, so you're going to need your containers for all your pieces, and you're going to need a pencil, pen, stick. You could even use a stick from your yard, as long as it can reach from one side to the other. You can hang your pieces from it into the solution. You will need string, yarn, something to hang your pendants from. I have some old braiding cord. I'm sure it'll work just fine. Tape would be good to have if you're having your pencil or pen not staying still. You definitely want to keep that still. You don't want that moving around. You need a spoon, a pair of scissors, a teaspoon measuring spoon, a pot to boil the water in for the solution. You don't really need a small tripod. I'm using a tripod just to make sure I get you guys some good shots. One thing that would be really smart to do is wear gloves when you're mixing the powder, the aluminum powder, because it's a chemical and everybody's skin reacts differently. So just because one person doesn't react doesn't mean that you might not react. So I'm gonna wear gloves just to be safe. Now, some of the other things you'll need is newspaper and any of the findings that you're going to use. So what I mean by that is I said I'm going to make these earrings. So I went and got my jump rings and my earrings and all those different finding pieces and my wire. I'm also going to try and make some really nice necklaces. This comes with some chain, which I'll show you everything that comes in here in a second. But it comes with some chain. I have my own because my skin is sensitive, so I went and got my own chain to use. I use that with all the other jewelry that I make. And of course you're going to need some tools for the jewelry, beads if you want to do any beading. So if you want to make your jewelry look really nice, just go get a whole bunch of crap. Just get all the beads you've never used and be creative. Use up some of that stuff. Which leads me to another thing. I want to do a little bit of experimenting with this. There's going to be leftover solution. I've had this kit since Christmas, but I wanted to share it with you guys, so I've been waiting to do it, and I've also not had much time to do it. So I want to do everything all at once. So I want to use up the aluminum powder while I have everything out. So as I was digging through all this stuff, I come across these jewelry findings. They're Brett pieces. So I have normal size Bretts, and then I have the 2-inch small ones. So I was thinking if I can put some glue on here. Now see, I don't know how this is going to work, so I'm only going to use one or two at a time because we all know when you squeeze these, they tend to bend and move. And I don't know if the crystals will break and come off if it bends too much. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to use 2 big ones, maybe 2 or 3 little ones. I'm going to put it all in the same container. Science. I don't know if it'll work, but we're going to find out. We're also going to try and see if we can put some glue on these earring posts. They're really small. Maybe we can get a couple crystals on it. So we're going to try those as well. So we're going to be following the kit. We're going to be going step by step with this, and I'm also going to be doing some of my own science experiment. So stay tuned, and let's dive into the kit and see what it comes with. Okay guys, so this is the kit. It is Universe Science Meets Style. Crystal growing jewelry. You can learn the chemistry behind crystals. So it comes with a couple different things. You can see through the window that we have some different bezels. And it says at the bottom it includes everything you need. Now that's not true, but we will get into that later. I have gathered everything that you guys need, and I will show you that here in a few minutes. But this is so interesting looking. I saw this at Walmart for about 13 bucks, and it was in the crafty aisle. And I thought, you know what? This looks really fun. I enjoy things like this. I always have. This was one of my favorite things to get as a kid growing up. So I really wanted to jump back into this. And this here looks so spacey. And I am so into space and science that this just was right up my alley. So I want to try it. It looks so fun. So here we're basically growing crystals on jewelry. So let's get this open. Okay, so we have a couple things here. Ooh, it's hollow. Somebody get a hold of Christine. If she ever saw that on my video, I would totally freak out. She is so awesome. I love her channel. Man! Anyway, we got instructions. And here's the poster. This is really cool. I think I might hang this up in my stepdaughter's room because this is just really neat. It's so cool. It's hard to see from the angle here, but it says Glam Rocks, and it has a ton of different facts about crystals. I don't want to go into all of this right now, but it's really neat. And just one thing right here. Emeralds, rubies, and even diamonds are all forms of crystals. I did not know that a ruby was a crystal. I thought it was a gem. So, getting into the kit itself. There's some indestructible plastic. And I was a little worried that these were going to be kind of cheap and really bendable, but they're not. They're actually pretty thick, so that's cool. These are stars. I'm going to go ahead and just take everything out so we can see it a little bit clearer. These are stars, and I am going to make these into earrings. It looks like there's a little bit of a gap right there for the glue and crystals to set up, but it doesn't look too deep, so we'll see. You also get an adjustable ring base. That looks a little deeper. That one might work out a little bit better. And it comes with 3 different types of cord. We have some rainbow cord here, and we've got some purple cord as well that feels a little bit like hemp. And then we've got some chain here. More chains over here. These look like the long necklace ones. These actually have a jump ring to hang the crystal from. That's really neat. I was going to use my own, but we'll see. I don't know if maybe somewhere on the package it'll let me know what exactly type of metal that is. Okay, so my camera died right in the middle of that. So let's start where I died. And I wanted to do a disclaimer, which is perfect because now I can make sure that it's properly said. Please have an adult help you with this because you're messing with boiling water, a stove or a microwave. You're also messing with aluminum powder. There are warnings on here. This is not food. This could cause an irritant to your skin. Avoid contact with eyes and skin directly. Not to be used without children, without supervision. Be careful with this. This is, it feels hard as hell. This is a chemical, which is why I said using gloves might be a good idea too, because I have sensitive skin, and I'm not sure if this is going to irritate my skin or not, and I don't want to find out the hard way. So, little disclaimer there. This kit says ages 8 and up, but like I said, boiling water is not nothing to play with, so make sure that you have someone help you. So, finishing the kit, we have the craft glue, which I'm sure this is just regular glue. Dries clear. Okay. And then we have different dyes. We have purple, blue, and pink. So, that's what comes in the kit, and I'm super excited. So, let me get everything ready, and we'll jump right in. Okay, guys, so to get started, you want to get your newspaper laid out on your work surface. I'm working on the dining room table, so I don't want to get anything on it. You want to get your instructions. And for step 1, you're going to need the pieces that you want to work with. I'm going to go ahead and do all 5. Now I have some experimental stuff that I want to try later if I have enough aluminum powder left. But because I want to give this kit a thorough review, I'm going to just use what they gave me. So I got my glue and I got my bezels. They call it jewelry bases, but you know. So when you put the glue on, you want to make sure that this flat surface is what's laying on the table. This raised edge needs to be facing up. This is what's going to hold your glue in. This is what's going to hold your aluminum powder in. So make sure that those are all up. Now I did see that to let the glue dry on the ring, you're going to have to get a little crafty. I saw another video, someone took the actual box and just cut a hole in it and stuck the ring in like this, which was brilliant. So I'm going to do that. But the first thing you want to do is you want to take your craft glue, and with the flat sides facing down, you want to put a very thin layer of craft glue on the inside of each one of these bezels. And you want to make sure that it's evenly coated. You don't want to glop it in one area and not in the other. You want to make sure it's even, and you are working on a flat, level surface. That way the glue dries evenly. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I definitely put the ring in the box because there's no way that the glue is going to sit right. And it still keeps wanting to try and spread on me on the ring. But I tried to spread the glue as best as I could across all of the bezels, and it looks pretty even to me. So the next step is we need to take the aluminum powder while the glue is still wet, carefully pour all over so that the glue is completely covered. Use your fingers to pat down the aluminum powder to make sure it is completely packed into the glue. And it says see image C. So image C, let's focus here. You basically fill with glue, which we did. And that's filled with glue. And that's what it should look like. That looks kind of crappy. Let's see if we can do a better job. So here is where we need to get our gloves. And before I do that, make sure that there's no clumps. This is going to work so much better for you if you're not trying to pour a whole big mess, a clumpy mess into, because when I first opened this was like really clumpy. So it'll be a lot easier and it'll distribute a lot better and maybe even work a little bit better. So let's break that all up. And I want to work small. You can always add, but it's harder to take away than it is to add. Same with salt and pepper. So let's make a tiny little hole. Let's get our gloves on. And I also brought the spoon over with me because I don't know how well this is going to work. These are some pretty cheapo gloves, mostly just for cleaning. And I don't know if it's going to allow me to pack it down really well. So let's start putting our aluminum powder on our bezels here. Maybe I should have made a little bit of a bigger hole. See, you can always add, but if I had made it too big a hole and dumped it everywhere, then we'd have had a problem. So let's cut that just a little bit more. I'm trying not to get my hand in your guys' way. Okay, so that's a good little amount. Let's see. Let's pack this down. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's scoot that to the side. Actually, I'm going to go around the edges and make sure that I push all that powder up into it, because I don't want my crystals growing out over the edge. So let's slide that over. Let's put some on our ring here. I'm getting glue everywhere. Alright, and I want to make sure that I get my star ones really good because this is what I actually want to wear. Hopefully I didn't put too much glue in there. It didn't really say exactly how much, it just said spread evenly, so we'll see. See, there's a big clump I was talking about, and I'm trying to push it down, and now look at that. That big old clump right there just ruined that piece. Definitely break up the clumps, and these gloves are making everything worse too. It's a disaster! Not really, I'm just being dramatic. Okay, that looks good to me. Nice and saturated. I don't want to waste any of this. Let's try to get it on this bezel here. If I stop sticking my finger in all the glue. There we go. And the last one. A huge chunk. Alright, I'm going to go back, and now that the glue has soaked into some of this powder, I'm going to add just a little bit more to the first couple that I did. Just to make sure that this is really packed in here. I want some really good crystals, so. Alright, that one looks great. I don't think the stars can take any more powder, but we'll put a little on there just to be safe. Alright guys, I think that's pretty good. Which is awesome. Alright, so that is done. Let's go back to the directions. And we just did step 3. Step 4, let your charm sit for 2 to 3 hours or until the glue has completely dried. So, we gotta let it sit, but looking ahead let's get these off of here, these are annoying. Looking ahead, after the glue dries, we're going to put the bezels onto string and onto our sticks and into the solution. So before we come back and finish, and while you're waiting for yours to dry too, I suggest that you go ahead and get your next step stuff ready. Get all your pencils, pens, sticks, whatever you're using. Get all of your containers. Get your water. Get your pot for water. Your teaspoon. And, oh yeah, we are going to be using some more aluminum powder. So I kind of lied. Maybe we will use it all. I think we use 7 teaspoons per 4 ounces of water in each of these solutions. So maybe we will use it all. But for $13, I could just go buy another kit. So that's what we're going to need for the next step. So let's let this dry and I will see you guys. I want to make sure that it works perfectly. So I'm going to wait the full 3 hours and hopefully it's dry. I put a lot of glue on there. So I guess we'll just see. Okay guys, so real quick before we move on to step 6. It says here that you want to let your charm dry for 2 to 3 hours or completely. But it doesn't tell you until you get 2 steps down that the solution that you're going to make needs to sit for 30 to 90 minutes before it reaches room temperature. So instead of waiting a full 3 hours and then putting some string on there and getting the solution together and then waiting another hour, I'm going to come back at about 2 hours and get the solution ready. That way it has another full hour to hour and a half before it is room temperature. So that way I can pretty much time it out to where the glue is dry and the solution is ready to go all at once. Okay guys, so we have the bezels over here drying with the aluminum powder on them. They're not completely dry yet. It did say 2 to 3 hours. There is about an hour left of drying, but our solution takes around an hour, hour and a half to cool down to room temperature. So I have the water boiling over here right now. And I'm going to let that go for just a second because I want to show you what we have to set up with. We have our 4 containers. I have 4 because I'm going to put the 2 stars together in one container. I hope it works out okay. I might put the stars in 2 different ones and then one of the 2 bezels in them. I don't know, but I have 4 containers to work with. So I have this liquid measuring cup here that actually goes 4, 8, and 12, 16 ounces. So the directions say that you need to put 7 teaspoons of the aluminum powder into 4 ounces of boiling water per container. So let me turn this water off really quick. Okay, and children, this is where an adult needs to help you. This is where we are messing with chemicals again, and I shouldn't have thrown my gloves away, but we're also messing with boiling water. So we have our liquid measuring, we have the aluminum powder. We're going to need our teaspoon measuring spoon. We're also going to need a regular spoon to stir everything with. And when we come back to thread everything is when we'll need this stuff, but that's not right now. The directions don't even tell you to do this ahead of time. It actually tells you to wait 3 hours until everything's dry and then come back and do it and wait for the stuff to cool down. So I'm trying to kill an hour here. So we're going to just jump ahead a little bit. Okay, so step 6 says, pour 7 teaspoons of aluminum powder into the boiling water. Use a spoon to mix the aluminum powder until it is fully dissolved. Step 7, let the solution sit for 30 to 90 minutes until it reaches room temperature. And then step 8 is when we put the jewelry into it. So I don't want to wait an additional 90 minutes after this is dry. I'm running out of daylight and I'm running out of time. So I think this will work better. That would probably be a good idea. So let's go ahead and put 7 teaspoons of the aluminum powder into each one of the containers that I want to use. Okay, so this is about how much aluminum powder I had left. after adding 7 teaspoons, and I did actually find another container that I can use, so every bezel will have its own container. I don't want to ruin anything by putting multiples in because I don't know if it'll set, right? So I got a piece of tape here, and I'm going to hold on to the rest of this aluminum powder. I may be able to make one more thing in the future. So we got all of our aluminum powder here, so let's go ahead and get our boiling water. Alright, so each container is supposed to get 4 ounces. Thankfully, I did boil a little extra water just in case. So I know I want to use these 2 for sure. Let's go ahead and get 4 ounces of water. Children, please ask an adult for help at this point. I'm making a mess. Maybe I should ask an adult. Sad part is I am an adult. Alright, so we have our first 4 ounces. Let's go ahead and pour it in here. And it says to stir and dissolve. Alright, I'll let that sit for a second. And because I'm making a mess everywhere, let's just grab a towel and get our next 4 ounces of water. All right. This one may need more water. I was worried about that. Maybe one of the stars will fit in there. Maybe. We'll set that one to the side. We may have to add a little bit of water, maybe a little bit more aluminum powder. Maybe I'll add 3.5 teaspoons to another 4 ounces and see if maybe that'll help. I don't want to mess with that just yet. We'll figure that out in a minute. Let's get the rest of our water going. I think all these are actually going to need a little bit more water. So that's, I don't know, we'll see. I didn't really have a tall, shallow glass to use, so I don't want to use my drinkware. I don't like, you know, using stuff like this on utensils that I cook or eat off of. Boiling water in here is different, and that's why I'm adding the water to the solutions and the containers, because I don't want to add it into the pots that I cook with, just to be safe. Okay. So it looks like they're all going to need some more water. This one here might be okay. I don't want to turn the bezels to see if they'll fit, because then I might knock some of that aluminum powder off. Alright, let's just dump the rest of the water in here and see how much we have. Okay, looks like we have about 10 ounces of water left. So we could put 2 more ounces in each one of the containers. This one I'm going to put a little bit more because it is a bigger container. And this one's going to need more. Hopefully it works. You know, I'm starting to wonder about... Okay, guys, so I have finished filling all of these, and I also used the rest of the aluminum powder. I tried to make sure that each container had the same amount of water to aluminum powder ratio, so if this messes up, it's my own fault, not the kit. So we'll see what happens. Like I've said 30 times, science! So, our next step is to let these get to room temperature. It says 30 to 90 minutes, so we'll see. The bezels and the glue still have to sit there for another hour as well, at least. I went ahead and did this, giving myself a half an hour window to let this continue to cool if it's not at room temperature, and to also let this completely dry. So I've kind of overlapped them the way that I've done this. So let's wait till these cool. Our next step is to take the strings and put them onto the jewelry and wrap them around the pencils and put them down in the solution. So if you want, while you're waiting, I already did it, but I just took some of that and I cut little 6-inch strips, and I made 5 of these for as many pieces as I'm making, or however many you're making. So my strips are already cut, so I'm just going to come back when everything is completely dry and completely cool, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I checked, and these are at room temperature, and the bezels are dry as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on to step 8, and that says cut a piece of string about 6 inches in length and thread it through the loop on your jewelry base and tie a knot. With the other end of your cording, make a knot around the pencil, pin, or stick. And it's showing image D and E, which are here. Very simple. It also says, note, if you are using the ring base, tie the knot around the band and then continue on with the above steps, image F. So, you just basically hang it like that. Simple. So I went ahead and put the string around the pencil first because I didn't want to jostle around the bezel and knock all the rest of the stuff off. So I left one undone. That way I can show you it's super simple. If I can tie a knot here. I'm kind of doing it backwards. Hold on. And I'm trying to make sure I'm in the focus here. Alright, there we go. And we'll double knot it. Make sure it is nice and secure. You definitely want to make sure that all of your knots are super tight so that nothing falls. Now, let's go ahead and let's grab our 2-star earrings. So what we want to do is we want to knock off a little bit, but not all of, obviously we don't want to knock a whole lot off, but we just want to knock the stuff off that's a little loose, because I don't want a crystal to form on something that's not fully attached and then it falls off. So it looks like we got all that. I'm going to clean up the edges just a little bit. And yeah, the glue is dry. Just kind of peels right off. Alright. Let's go ahead and get to threading here. So basically what we want to do, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit clearer. Just some stuff here. There we go. Alright, let's get in here and get this tied on. Now how far down, where's the, let's see, how do I want to do this? I need to figure that out first. I think I'm going to put my 2-star earrings together. So for that, I want to, I guess, just put it here. And it said if the string was too long to roll it up onto the pencil because you don't want your bezel touching the bottom. So let's see, I guess we should probably thread this first. That would probably be the easiest. And I know this hangs quite a bit, so I'm going to tie the knot up just a little bit higher. Definitely make sure this knot is nice and tight. We will be cutting these strings off, so don't worry too much. And in fact, I want to cut all this little extra off because I don't want anything extra to form. So there's that one. And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 pencils. I was going to attach them both to the same pencil, but I think I'm going to make sure that they stay a little bit separated. All right. So this is what I've got. We got our pencil with our string and our bezel here, and it looks pretty good. So let me go ahead and tie up the rest of these, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have everything tied up now. So let's move these 3 to the side. And I want to add both of the stars together into this one. So like I said, if you don't want your bezel touching the bottom at all. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and submerge. Actually, before I do that, let me get you guys a better view here. All right, there we go. I dropped you down a little bit, and we'll get you a little closer. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and submerge this into your solution. And let's roll this up. Now, it does look like a lot of that powder is falling off onto the bottom. So I don't know if it's necessarily supposed to do that. But it looks like right there is a good spot to keep that. Now my pencil is trying to roll around already. So I'm going to go ahead and get some tape. And we're just going to secure that pencil right there in place so it doesn't wiggle. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Make sure we have it in the solution properly. Dang it. I'm always one of those people that like to stick the tape to itself. Everything except where it needs to be. Okay, so there, we got that in there. And it did look like, and I'll show you a close-up towards the end. Actually, let me try and get you in a little closer. Okay, I don't know how good of a view you're going to have here, but when you put this in here, you will notice that some of this solution falls off. It's really hard to see in the... There we go. Now you can see some of it. Some of it's falling off, so when you do this, try to be extremely careful. Don't wiggle it around excessively. Because you definitely want a lot of that to stay there. That's what's going to make the crystals form. Man, that pencil is not wanting to stay still. The weight of the bezel is trying to unroll it. Alright, so that one's done. Let's tape this pencil down. Or try to, at least. That definitely didn't work. This tape sucks. This tape really sucks. I'm about to go get some duct tape. Okay, so that's what you do. You got the solution in here. We went ahead and we dropped our pieces down. I have it at water level. So they are completely submerged but not touching anything. So let's go ahead and do that with the rest of them here. Alright, let's get the rest going. This one, I think there was one that was super long. Actually, it was this one. Let's make sure this goes down in there. Yep, we're going to have to roll it just a little bit. a lot of that solution falls off, so don't freak out. I noticed that in the other videos that I watched too. It was happening to the other girl, so I think it's just, you know, it's gonna happen. That's why I kind of packed it on as much as I did, because I wanted to make sure that even if some fell off, there was clearly still some left. So we're supposed to let these sit for 24 hours and then come back and pull out the bezels and then let it completely air dry. So what I'm going to do is take a picture every couple hours or so, because I really want to watch and see if I can actually observe the crystals growing. I know it's, you know, not going to be something I can sit and actually watch, but, you know, using a time lapse of the pictures, we can, you know, see maybe every 2 hours or so. Maybe every hour until I go to bed, and then, you know, let's see, what time is it? It's 7 o'clock in the evening now. And being a Saturday night, not having anything to do, first thing in the morning, and having a brand new game to play, I'll probably be up for a while. So I'll probably take a picture an hour, every hour or so, and then go from there. That one looks pretty good. All right, last one. And like I said, guys, I did mess with the aluminum powder and water ratio, so I hope I didn't screw it up. I tried my best to make sure that every single one was the correct ratio. Because like that taller jar, that one has a lot more water in it than these little ones. So each container got what the package had said was 4 ounces of water and 7 teaspoons of the aluminum powder. And then I kind of just, you know, added to each one after that and kind of adjusted it. So hopefully, I'm sure it'll be okay. I guess we'll find out. All right, guys. So every one of these is done now. And I don't want to move them around, so I'm actually just going to pick up my tripod and move my tripod around. But every one of them is done. So there's quite a bit of powder. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's quite a bit of powder down there in the bottom. Don't be alarmed when you put that in there. It will happen. So let's see here. Step 9, drop your jewelry base into the solution inside the container and let the pencil, pen, or stick lay on top of the base to keep from submerging the bottom of the thing. Okay, so we've already done that. Let's let this sit in solution for 24 hours. Take your jewelry base out and you will see that the crystals have grown all over the surface. Let it sit out and air dry before moving on. And let's see, once it's dried completely, you can cut the string off. So what I'm going to do, being 7 o'clock at night, I'll let this go until 7:13. So I'll let it go until 7:30 tomorrow night. And then we'll take them out. I will let them dry overnight. And I will be back first thing Monday morning to finish this. And we'll cut the string off, we'll dye it, and then we'll put it all together. Hey guys, so we're back on Monday morning now, and I have taken the crystals out like it said, and I let them sit completely to dry overnight. These 3 didn't work. And like I said before, I started messing with the ratio of water to aluminum powder, so I'm not surprised. But we'll talk about that in a second, because I have some ideas with that. So I did end up successfully getting one of the large circle pieces and the 2 star pieces to work right. And I was a little worried that they weren't going to come out right either, because last night when I took them out, me being me, I have to poke things. So I poked it and it started moving, and I was like, oh crap, it's screwed up too. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it alone. These just fell off. Everything just started falling. The ring was hanging like this, and everything just kind of fell, and then somehow crystals formed back here. I've been knocking them off because I have a better idea, which also leads me to how fragile these are. If you look at, they just pop right off. So this is extremely, extremely fragile stuff here. So I have some ideas that I want to move forward with. Obviously, we're going to turn these 2 into earrings and this one into a necklace. So we are at, right now we're on step 10. Yeah, we took the jewelry out, we let them completely dry, and now we're supposed to cut the strings off of them. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off here as well. Man, the crystals grew into the string, into the knot. So it was pretty neat to watch. I took some pictures, and, you know, I was a little disappointed at first when I started seeing some of the stuff fall off, and then I got an idea as it was happening. So I was like, you know what, let's see what happens. You know, like I said before, when I started, you know, messing with the ratio, you know, if it doesn't work, it's my own fault. Now these 2, they were in containers that I didn't really mess with. So obviously the kit works. I know the kit works. You know, it's just next time, and I plan on doing this again because it was really fun. And now that I know a couple things, I'm going to try again. I'm going to use the right containers this time. I think that had a lot to do with it, because that's the only reason why the water ended up getting added to in some and not others, is because some of the containers were more wider than others. So it was taking more liquid to get the same depth than it would in a taller glass. And this is not want to come off. Alright, so we got our messed up pieces off. Let's set those to the side. I have an idea that I want to run with. I'm going to go ahead and cut these off real quick, and then we'll move on from there. Okay guys, so I got all the string off and I tossed that to the side, and I wanted to get you guys off my tripod and get you a little bit closer. So now we can see exactly how these came out. Here's one of these stars here, and you can see it did kind of go over the edge a little bit. They're very fragile, guys. Be very careful when you're cutting string off. Don't stick your finger right here in the middle and hold it, because you'll break a bunch of them off. This one came out pretty nice. There is a lot of crystal around the back, which, as you can see, is a little raised. So I'm wondering how that's going to work with wearing. So maybe I'll just hang it on the wall or something. That's where I hang all my necklaces, so maybe I can just hang it there as decoration. But we went ahead and got all of those off there. Now, before we move on, I want to show you what I have come up with. These are all the crystals that did not stay on these pieces and that formed at the bottom of the containers. So as you can see, there's a lot. There's some clumps in here. Like that's one solid piece right there. But you can break up into individual little crystals. So what I'm thinking about is going through here and just breaking all this up so it's like really fine crystal. And, you know, getting up close here, you can see that that's workable. So my idea is, if you use regular craft glue to get that stuff to stay, I want to use E6000 glue on these because, let me get you set up here. I have of my own a whole bunch of different pieces that I would like to attach this stuff to. Not only do I want to put it back on the bezels here that they didn't stay on, but I have some leftover bezels of my own. We got some bronze, 2 little tiny silver ones. So if I take the E6000 glue and I cover this with glue, and then, see, this is why I don't like this little tripod. I got to keep moving you guys around, so hold on. Hold on to your armchairs. If I take the E6000 glue and I pack these crystals on, I can do anything I want and still have crystal jewelry. It's just, it formed off the jewelry and I added it to it. So I have some random crap that I've gathered up. These I got off eBay. I was on a little kick one time on eBay where I would take like up to 10 cents. And the best part was getting something for a penny with free shipping. That was like my highlight. So I would type in like Tibetan silver charms or accessories and all kinds of stuff, which is where I got all of these earring posts. I got 100 of these for 1 cent free shipping. Now, it took 2 months to get to my house, but for a penny, come on, you can't beat that. So these are like just tiny little owl stickers that I got for a penny with free shipping. They're a little thick. They got a little thickness to them. And, oh God, excuse the nails. Sorry, I was outside. But anyway, I want to fix these, like just stick them to different spots on this bezel, and then come in with the crystals and fill in the gaps. So now I have like an owl crystal pendant. So that's an idea. I also have my Bretts. Remember at the beginning I wanted to do something with these. So if I take E6000 glue across there and just, you know, sit here and do this until it's nice and packed on there, you know, that'll probably stay. And then, like I said, I have a bunch of these earring posts. I also have a ton of these. And I only grabbed out enough to make a few pairs, but same situation. Put some E6000 glue right there and just tap it down into the crystals and make sure that they stay. E6000 glue, if you have any, or if you don't, make sure you use ventilation. That stuff is pretty potent. And it could be harmful if breathed directly, so cancer-causing agent, it says right there on the bottle. So be very careful using that stuff. I always have airflow around me when I use E6000. But I have this ring base too. This one is completely flat, so I don't know how that would work. Maybe we can put something in the middle and then put some crystals around it. This one here has a bezel. Or not has a bezel, but has an indent. But I also have this little keychain, cell phone thing, so maybe we can take this little guy here and put it on a keychain or something. So we'll see, but let me show you what I plan on doing, and then we'll get on to the dye. Okay, so in the kit, it comes with the 3 chains. You got 2 chains that have a loop at the end, and they don't have anything else at the other end. So you're left kind of, you need your own fixings, either a lobster claw or some kind of fastener for those 2. And then they also have a necklace one that has the same loop at the end, and then this one actually does have a lobster claw, but it doesn't have anything but the end of the chain over here, so we need to add another one. I'm going to go ahead and use this, and then I'm going to replace all the jump rings because they're kind of thin, to be quite honest with you. You know, I can easily without any effort. I mean, it feels like it's going to snap. So what I've gotten is I grabbed a large jump ring, a medium jump ring. So this will be for the crystal at the bottom, and this will be for the lobster claw. And then I'm going to grab another one of these, a smaller one, a medium one, for the other side to hook it onto. And then what I'm really, really excited about, guys, is I found these earring bases. And it's kind of hard to see here. There we go. So, I can never say this right. Swarovski crystals. It's a Swarovski crystal. Obviously, you know, not anything crazy real, but they have this tiny little loop at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. But I gathered up some jump rings for this as well. Because I found these. And I like these, but at the same time, these kind of earrings just, I don't know, they don't sit very well in my ears. Because I had my ears gauged. I went up to size 0. And then I went back down to a normal post, which, yes, is possible if you do it very carefully and slowly. I know my ears did not stretch or rip. So I can go back to wearing normal earrings again. And I really like these because you got the shine from the crystal up here. And then it's going to be attached to this. So I thought that was going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to making these earrings. So enough yicky yacky. But I just kind of wanted to take a second to show you guys what's possible if you come into failure like I did. You know, I could have been like, oh, this is trash, that's trash, the whole kit's trash, screw it all. But instead, you know, let's turn something bad into something positive and let's work with what we have. Now, this is going to be another video, so if you are interested in seeing what I do come up with, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button up here so that, actually, I think the bell button's down here somewhere, right about there. Anyway, hit the bell button. You will get notified every time I upload a video. And if you are interested in seeing that, let me know because this kit was really fun. So I want to know what you guys think. If you guys enjoy watching this as much as I enjoy doing it, I think we can come up with a plan to do this like once a week or something. Maybe a live. I hate doing live, but hey, we'll try something new. All of us. Let's all try something new. All right, so we have, if I can get in the frame here, if I can learn how to be a good YouTuber, we have Blast Off Blue, Plasma Pink, and Ultraviolet Purple. So, as with any dye, it looks like it's been sitting around a while. We've got sediment sitting at the bottom. So let's give all of these a really good shake. I don't want to shake them too much because I don't want to put air bubbles down in there. So let's just make sure our color's all good and mixed. And I'm going to get this off of here. I put it on the back of the poster so it could show up a little bit easier. So the front of the box shows a really, really cool pattern. So I kind of want to see if I can replicate that just a little bit on one of the big ones. I kind of like that one that's right here because it kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit more spacey. So after watching someone else's video doing this, I know that the colorant, the dye here is kind of liquidy. Obviously it's liquid, duh. It's very liquidy. So, like runny is what I meant. So, let me get you a good angle here. Alright. So, let's move on and go ahead and get dyeing. So, step 11 says, now that your crystal has dried, take your color dye dropper and very carefully put a drop of color onto your crystal and watch as it spreads. Continue to add drops of color until you are pleased with your jewelry and let this dry completely. So, let's see. Let's get our box. I don't want to do exactly what the box shows, but I really like it, so I want to try and get it close. So it looks like they have purple. And I want to start here because I really, really, really want to wear the earrings. So I want to make sure that those look really nice. So let's experiment with our dye. Holy cow. Make sure you have something underneath the view. And be careful. This stuff looks like it's going to, like, dye me for like a week. Okay, so let's just very carefully, I want to be able to make sure you guys can see this too. Let me get you in here. Okay, I think I have it as best as it's going to get. Sorry, I'm using a generic phone. I don't pay a lot for iPhone. That's ridiculous. Alright, let's... Son of a... Beep. Watch out for that. All right. And it looks like there's air bubble. I don't want air bubble. Oh my goodness. Oh crap, I hope that doesn't go through to the bottom. I'm gonna dye my kitchen table. Okay, I don't know. It doesn't look like it went through, so we're good. But I'm gonna put cardboard underneath here. That spread like crazy. See what I meant by liquid? Alright, I'm scared. I'm scared to put this on here. There's no turning back, guys. Alright, let's do it. Oh, cool. That is so neat. You guys see that? How it spread? Oh, that is so cool. I want to get you in closer. All right, there we go, guys. Now you got a good view. Oh, that is so satisfying. Okay, so I want to make sure all the crystal is dyed, so we're just going to... I don't want to squeeze a drop. I just want to kind of wait until it sucks it out of the tip of it right there on the edge. Okay, that looks like a little bit of good amount of purple. That is so neat. It really just like went... Alright, and... Okay, phone rang, so I had to go answer that. And it looks like while I was gone, it spread a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get the next color down. I think I'm going to put pink because I want to keep... Well, I don't know. The blue... Let's try the blue. I'm afraid the blue is going to look very similar to the purple and almost not stand out. And yeah, that ring was about to fall off too. The ring that comes around the neck of the bottle. Go ahead and take that off. All right. Let's get that first airdrop out of there. Let's go in down. All right. Oh, it does look different. I'm trying to like touch it and then hurry and move my hand so you guys can watch it spread. I think I want to add pink right there in those tiny little white spots. The blue seems to, it's harder to squeeze the bottle. Whoa. Okay, that was a lot. Alright, let's hurry up and get the pink in here before the colors spread too far, because I did notice that while I was on the phone, it looked like it spread a little bit. I should have left the camera going. Let's get pink right there, and I want to put a little there. Whoa, that pink looks cool. And it looks like where the pink is mixing with the blue is looking a little purple. Alright, I think that's pretty well saturated. The pink's a little light. There's some clear crystal still sticking through, so I'm going to hit those spots one or two more times. There's a tiny little crystal there we can get. Well, I think we should have added more pink at the beginning, but I like it. I like that little touch of pink right there on the side. Air bubble. All right. That looks awesome, guys. It's not picking up on the camera very well, but there is a definite distinction between the purple and the blue. That looks really cool. All right. So let's set this to the side and make sure to keep it level or your dye is going to like go everywhere. And let's get our earrings. Now I'm excited about these. All right. Let's see. This isn't really flat. I'm going to do one at a time because the surface that I'm working on is not really flat. So I want to start with pink this time for sure. So let's put a little pink here on this corner and down here on this corner. And let's Drop some blue right in the center. Oh no! Oh, let's see how long it takes for this stuff to come off. Oh, I can't even wipe it off. It's already on there. It's like on there. Okay, let's hit the corners down here with purple. Purple there. Oh, it soaked it right up. And we'll do a drop of purple up here. Oh, it's going underneath the pink. Maybe we should hit it with another drop of pink. At least it's blending very well. But yeah, it's really hard to get that pink to work. Cool. Okay, guys, so quick little disclaimer here. All I did was push like this with my finger to the one I just dyed, and look what happened. We have crystals falling off. So when you add the dye, apparently it makes the glue completely liquid again because the entire thing is now squishy. So when you add the dye, don't frickin' move the dang thing because it's gonna break, just like this one is. So I'm just going to put it there and leave it alone, and it's not going to get moved for like 24 hours. And on top of that, I think if I don't add a layer of E6000 glue, I'm going to put, sorry, I have you zoomed in really good. I'm going to put some top coat, some just clear gel top coat on top to make sure that everything stays put. So let's go ahead and get this other one done. So I started with pink, and that really didn't go anywhere. So let's get more pink on this one. I put the wrong cap on. And somehow I got blue dye all over these fingers and my palm, and I don't know, it ended up everywhere. Okay, let's get some blue. And let's get some purple down here. Yeah, I just watched that purple spread all the way to this corner. So that purple kind of takes over. The blue doesn't really move too much, and this pink just gets drowned out. Alright, I think that's as good as we're going to get it. So then, let me zoom you back out because I don't want to move the piece. It's easier to move you guys than it is to move the pieces. So, we have that star, this star, and our big piece here that is being taken over by these little pieces that are getting in my way every time I move them. So this didn't start acting all screwy. Yes, it is. Look at that. Look at that crap. All right, don't touch it. Don't touch these once you put the thing on them. Just don't. Look at all this crystal. So I think, because I know this kit works, and I think I'm the one that kind of screwed all this up, I think what I'm going to do is do it again. And this time use the right containers and the right amount of everything without adding or subtracting. But I still have all these left to play with, so we'll figure out something with those. So now we must let this completely dry. I am letting this dry for 24 hours. I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to put a layer of top coat on it and let that completely dry. So for you guys, it won't take any time at all, but for me, I will finish this in the morning. And I am also going to start working on this video because I'm really excited to try some of the other stuff because I think the E6000 glue is going to work a lot better. So if you're interested in that, like I said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and you will see when I upload it. But When these are completely dry, we're going to put them on our chains. So while it's drying, and I mean, you have to wait for your dye to dry as well too. So go gather up your chains, your fixings, your jump rings, your tools, anything else that you're going to need to put your jewelry together. And I will see you in a second. Okay, guys. So unfortunately, I have let these dry for about 4 days. And as you see, the dye is still not dry. I have had this stuff upside down. I've had it in front of fans. The dye will not dry. And after I put the dye on, everything went to hell. All of the crystals are falling off now. As soon as I put the dye on, the glue disintegrated. I don't know what the deal was with that. It was perfectly fine. The crystals were not doing this at all until the dye got put on. So once the dye went on, it's basically back to being liquid again. And you can see I still got dye coming off onto my finger. Look at this. It's just, it's all of it is coming off. Every single bit. So unfortunately, you know, if I would have used another dye, it would have probably been okay. But you know, once I put the dye on, it just destroyed it. It absolutely disintegrated any glue that was down in there. All the crystals are falling off. This is all just sitting in here. Look at this. It's all just coming right off. And that's very upsetting, you know. I had a lot of fun with this. And, you know, obviously I did mess with the ratio of aluminum powder to water, which we got past that. We at least got some pieces. But now this dye just ruined it. I don't even know what to say about the dye, honestly. And 4 days later, and it's still staining everything. Not cool. So, unfortunately, I think I'm just going to toss this in the trash. And I'm going to work with the rest of the crystals that I had. And I'm going to use food coloring. The stuff that you can use for, like, cooking and baking. I'm not messing with that dye no more. That dye is going in the trash. So, I really don't know what else to say, other than what the frig. So, oh, look at this. You can see down in the thing. Let me see if I can get you focused here. Look at that. It ate all the way down into there, and you can see that there's no glue left in there. It ate the glue. The dye literally ate the glue. It formed a hole. Not cool. So, I guess, and yeah, look at this. 4 days later, and I'm still getting... You couldn't wear this. You wouldn't be able to wear this. This would be rubbing dye all over. Look, there's even dye on the back. And look at that. It's coming off. You can see. This would put dye all over your chest or your earring or your ears or anything. So, pretty upset about that. But, you know, it is what it is. I have leftover crystals, so we're going to do something with that. So if you want to see what I do with that, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button because that's going to be a whole nother video. This one's already way too long. So, I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. Kind of sucks, but hey, you live and you learn, right? And, you know, out of all of that, let me get my the crystals out. Put them over here in the tub off to the side. I still have a whole jar full of crystals. So we can still do something. It's not a complete loss. You know, I still got quite a bit there. I got more crystals here than formed on my pieces. So, oh well. I guess I won't be buying and redoing this kit, unfortunately. I had fun doing it. Don't get me wrong. It was really fun. You know, I like the idea of what they were doing, so I think I'm going to just take some time and, oh look, there's a whole nother hole right there. I think that dye is eating the crystal itself. I have no idea. I'm going to just shred all this crystal off of here so that I can use these bezels for myself in the future at some point. Look at this. This is so sad. Look, it's just disintegrating. Absolutely ridiculous. That dye, I don't understand why after 4 days the dye didn't dry. I mean, I just don't get it. And I even turned these pieces upside down like this with a small fan on top of paper towels. So it should have wicked all of it out, or at least air dried it. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of dye that really is. I don't think the bottle really says anything. It just says plasma pink coloring. Let's see. Can't really see it. No, it's not focusing. Please see instructions for further details. That's all it says. So it doesn't even tell you if it's food coloring, food dye. I don't even know. So I guess we're just going to take our mess up here and we're going to make something new out of it. So I think I can come up with something better myself. So I don't know. It's pretty upsetting, but at the same time, you know, we're left with a lot of good ideas and some gems or some crystals to work with. And we got a cool poster out of it. So, you know, it is what it is. That's, I guess, what you get for paying $13 for a kit, which is unfortunate. But, yeah, I guess that's it, guys. So thanks for watching. Sorry it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to. But, like I said, don't ever take something like this, a mistake or a failure. Don't take it the wrong way. Don't take it bad. Don't take it negatively. You know, there's... Oh my God, this is ridiculous. There's other things that you can, you know, focus on with it. Like, instead of being upset and negative. I mean, I am upset, but instead of going, oh, F this and throwing it in the trash, you know, if I can find it, I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to take the leftover crystals and we're going to do something with them. So, anytime you come up to a hardship or a failure, look at it from a different point of view and see what else you can do with it. There's always a positive way to take things. There's always something you can do to make things better. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video where you can see me turn this negativity into something positive. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.